With Pokemon Winds and Waves coming out next year, I decided now would be the perfect time to replay all 9 Pokemon regions. 9 games, 1 rule. When I use a Pokemon in a region, I can't reuse it in another. The Great Pokemon Replay starts right now. Welcome everybody to the first episode of the Great Pokemon Replay. Of course, we're starting with Kanto. I haven't played this in a while. I was playing through with a friend last year, and we didn't get to finish it. But we're starting here. God, I haven't seen Oak in a while. I was playing through Soul Silver, nuzlocking it on my Twitch account, and they make Oak look so much older. And it's just, I feel bad for him. And you know for a fact that if they wanted to write, like, people dying in a Pokemon, they would have had him die of old age already. So, if the one rule for this Great Pokemon Replay is that every Pokemon that I catch and use in one region cannot be used again in another one. So if I use a Squirtle in this game, when we get to X and Y, when they give us another starter to use, I can't pick Squirtle. Every rival that we pick during this, I am going to name after one of my best friends. So we're going to start with my oldest and first best friend. We're going to go with a Tucker, the guy who actually helped me film the little Game Boy intro for this video. Honestly, I'm actually really excited to play through all of these again. There are some that I haven't played in a very, very long time. Like, I haven't played Alpha Sapphire in a while. I haven't played Black 2 in a while. I haven't played X in a very, very long time. Ultra Moon, I played a little bit of recently. Also, you might have noticed that this looks like we're playing a bit differently. This is the Switch 2 version. I know I did that little Game Boy intro. But it is a lot easier to record from my Switch 2 than it is to record from my Game Boy. Funny enough, that is my original Game Boy that I had when I was like 6 or 7 years old. And it's a really funny story in how I got it. If any of you out there were raised in Ontario, Canada in the early 2010s, like I think around 2006, 7, or 8, you might remember that if your school had a milk program, that there was this like thing going on where you could open up a carton of milk and the carton of milk would moo. And if it mooed, you would win a prize. The prize that I won, I was in school and I opened it and it mooed, which is very funny because I was raised on a dairy farm, and it mooed. And I won a Game Boy Advance cover, which was literally just like the little sticker. But I didn't own one at the time. So my parents bought me a Game Boy Advance and a little 3-pack of games, and one of the games on it was Pokemon Emerald. Now, I had watched the show and everything before, but getting Pokemon Emerald was my first game, and I still have it. But anyways, enough about me. We're going to be picking... I'm going to be getting like several grass types in this run, so we're going to go Squirtle. Squirtle and Bulbasaur I like much, much more than Charmander. I've never been a huge fan of Charmander. I don't know. I've just never liked it. So we're going to be naming this guy Ertl. You know, Ertl the turtle. Ertl the turtle. I gotta have this speech get moved up to faster. One thing I am looking forward to is I love how in the older games, the rival always picks the one that you're weak to. Alright. Yeah. Alright, we got the faster text going now. We're gonna battle him. One thing we are going to do in this game, there are a lot of Pokemon, and like there are not a ton of Pokemon that I really, really love from Kanto. So we're not going to be like using a lot in games afterwards, but I am going to be catching a lot, because in order to get the EXP share in this game, you have to catch, I think, 30 Pokemon. So we're going to be catching a lot of Pokemon in this run specifically, just so we can get the EXP share, to make it easier for us to level up Pokemon we catch brand new. Oh, but that's some pretty good luck in our first battle. The older games have a lot of like grinding for leveling too. So we are going to be grinding a lot. I'm going to cut that out so you guys aren't bored out of your mind while I run around in the grass for like 30 minutes to an hour. Oh, that's less lucky. Atta Beardle. God, this is bringing it. Do you want to know something funny? The first time I ever played a Kanto game as well wasn't even FireRed or LeafGreen. I don't know how my cousin found this, but when I was like 9, he brought home a Pokemon game. It was a blue cartridge called like Blue or Sea Blue Edition or something, and I didn't know that it wasn't a legit game, and I'm pretty sure that it. No, I'm not pretty sure. I know that it was a ROM hack, and I had never seen a physical. I didn't even know what they were at the time, and I thought it was just some new version of FireRed LeafGreen, and it was the most wild thing. And it took me a while to like see if it really did exist or if I was having some sort of fever dream. The starters in it were like Spheal, Trapinch, and Mareep. And the first gym leader, instead of being Brock, was some dark type gym leader. Misty was still Misty. But you know, being like 7 or 8, I didn't get very far in that game. It was a ROM hack, and I don't remember much of it. But I remember thinking, why is this like this? And I have no idea how my cousin managed to get it. But he got it and he gave it to me. And I'm kind of mad that I don't have it anymore, because I feel like it would have been wild to replay. We're just going to be getting as many levels as we can to get up here, because I'm going to be honest, the first Pokemon that I'm going to catch that we're going to use isn't going to be until Mount Moon. And I'm not going to tell you guys which Pokemon that is until we find it. No, I will say this. Normally when I play through, my favorite Kanto Pokemon, my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon is Cloyster. We're not going to be using it in FireRed LeafGreen due to the physical special split. So we're going to save Cloyster for a game where he is better. Just because the physical special split kind of like butchers a lot of Pokemon's usability. So if we run into like a Pokemon that I really like, I might save it for a later game. That's gonna happen a few times, especially with Soul Silver. I haven't made up my mind yet if we're gonna keep the Togepi/Togetic, or if we're gonna save it for when we play Platinum. Because when we play through Soul Silver, we are going to go to the Kanto region after for the post game. We're going to play through all of that to like, go beat Red and everything. Soul Silver is going to be the longest playthrough. I have a feeling. But that's the thing is Togetic can't be evolved in Soul Silver until you get the National Deck. So after you beat the Elite Four the first time. But then again, like Togekiss would be really useful for the post game in that one. And I feel like it would be more useful than it would be in Platinum. And I feel like there's a lot of Pokemon in Platinum that I'm going to want, so I'm kind of leaning towards using the Togepi and Togetic and Togekiss in Soul Silver over Platinum. Because there's a lot of Pokemon in Platinum that I really like. Electivire, Dusknoir, Mismagius, Gallade, Frostlass. I'd say Spiritomb, but not going to be able to get a Spiritomb. Because getting Spiritomb in the original games was such a pain. Alright, we're going to catch this Pidgey. We're not going to use it, but we're going to catch it. Just so we can get this Pokédex going. So we can get the EXP share when the time comes. Because completing the Pokédex in this game, you do get a lot of pretty good rewards from the scientists. I'm trying to think. So, I know which Pokemon we're going to catch in Mount Moon. I think I know which Pokemon we're going to catch next after that. And it is, I think it's going to... Oh, we're going to have 2 grass types by the time for our first 2 Pokemon. I have never used... There's only one Route 1 Pokemon in a Pokemon game that I like. That I will catch and use. And it is Sentret. I don't know what it is, but I love Sentret and Furret. I don't know why, but they're like the only Route 1 Pokemon that I just go, you, in my team, now. Alright, we're gonna go up here. I think we should probably go catch a Mankey just because it'll help with our decks. Yeah, you know, we're going to put the Pidgey in the PC, just because in these older games, if it's a Pokemon you're not going to be using, unless you're trying to evolve it for the Pokédex, leveling these things up with the XP just takes a lot of grinding. And if I need to grind stuff for the items we need, I'll just do it off screen so you guys don't have to sit here while I grind Pokemon that we aren't going to use. I should probably word that better. Buy some more Pokeballs, just because we're going to need them. Also, I do apologize if you guys hear construction sounds in the background. They're doing construction work next to my building, so I can't really control that. And I don't want to record too late into the night and risk getting a noise complaint from my neighbors. So we're going to catch a few Pokemon over here. Also, something I'm realizing now is we're going to be going back and forth between gens in this playthrough a lot, in these playthroughs a lot, because this is going to be the only Game Boy game we play. But I'm realizing that we're doing FireRed, then we're going to do Soul Silver on the DS, then we're going to go up to the 3DS with Alpha Sapphire, and then back to the DS with Platinum. So we're going to be jumping back and forth a little bit here. And then Black 2, or is it White 2 that I have? I gotta look into that again, see which one I have. I can never remember. So we got ourselves a Rattata, we got ourselves the Mankey, just for the decks. We're also gonna keep the Rattata. We'll probably pull it out when we need to use HMs. Just because I do not want to teach the low power HMs to any of our actual teammate Pokemon. I also forgot how long it takes for us to get the running shoes in this game. Now, I know I'm not the only one excited about Winds and Waves coming out. I'm super excited, especially with how the game looks. Oh, right, this guy. Well, now I've had my coffee. Thanks, I did not ask. I love how in the old games, strangers are just like, hey, kid, I've had my coffee now. I'm going to show you something. Also, why is there just... Well, I was going to say, why is there just a Weedle walking down the road? But I guess it makes sense for a bug to just be in this small town next to a forest. Speaking of, like, towns and stuff, I know that in these games, the regions are based off of specific places. I think the first 4 regions are based off of places in Japan. Because I know that Unova is based off of New York, I'm pretty sure. And then, I think, if I remember hearing correctly, Wave 10s is based off some islands in Asia? I don't think there's anything new in this grass we can catch, so we're just gonna walk by. Oh, whoops. We're just gonna walk by here. Okay, there's Caterpies and Weedles here. And honestly... Oh, and I think you can run into Kakuna and Metapods in here. I remember as a kid, all the time, I would like walk around in the grass trying to find Kakuna or Metapod because I thought they were stronger. And then I found out, oh wait, if you catch them, they only know Harden. But if you evolve them, they keep like their attacking moves. Also, I remember as a kid, I've seen Weedle before in the show and everything, but when I played through this game, I thought Weedle was just like sitting there with its mouth open. I didn't know that it was its nose. Same thing with Diglett. I always thought that they just had a mouth perpetually open and screaming. Alright, Weedle. Yeah, we're not going to nickname anything that we're not going to use on the team here. We are going to battle the trainers because we need the XP. Oh, hey! We found a Metapod before we found a Kakuna. Also, I'm starting to realize that there were a lot of Pokemon where like I'd look at their 2D sprite and be like, oh, that's what they look like. I always thought that Metapod was the reverse. I thought that it was like an angry looking face and that the spike on the right was its nose. And it wasn't until I got like older and I saw how they animated it in the 3D games where I went, oh, it's on its stomach. I always thought that it was on its back and it just had a really big nose. And that instantly made me like its design more because I don't know what it is, but I hate Pokemon with like big noses. Like my favorite character designs in a lot of things often involve characters where they either don't have a nose or you can't see the nose. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I'm like that. It's been a thing ever since I was like little too. Like all of my favorite Pokemon, I'm pretty sure, don't have noses on their sprites. Actually, to be fair, how many Pokemon actually have visible noses on their sprites? A lot of the starters do. Reptilian Pokemon have like snouts. Wailmer has a nose, I'm pretty sure. Does he? I'm having trouble remembering Wailmer's sprite now. Okay, we got a Weedle, we got a Metapod. That's pretty much like all we really need. We'll keep walking through the grass in case we find like a Kakuna, but the thing is, it's going to be a lot easier to evolve these guys late game. Where we just throw them out and then swap and kill something and they'll be able to evolve pretty quick. Because I think we get the EXP share. Ooh, maybe I should have been killing a lot more things. I'm debating on if I'm going to edit in or edit out a lot of the trainer battles. Maybe I'll keep in the trainer battles where something happens. Because a lot of these trainer battles, I am surprised we have not been poisoned by a poison sting yet. Because I feel like I remember being poisoned all the time whenever I got hit with a poison sting back when I played this game as a kid. Like, I remember thinking poison sting had a 100% chance to poison the opponent when playing through this. Oh yeah, we don't have a Caterpie yet. Yeah, we're gonna keep walking through the grass so we can get a Caterpie. I remember some of you may remember from the teaching my friend how to play Pokemon thing that she loved Caterpie, hated Metapod and Butterfree, and we found out I've shown her some other sprites of Butterfree. It's the Butterfree sprite in this game specifically that makes it look like a fly to her, and to be fair, I can kind of see it, especially when you look at like the idea that Venonat was supposed to evolve into Butterfree. Oh, that was more XP I expected us to get from a Caterpie. Good lord. One thing about Bug-type Pokemon that I'm realizing too is they have changed how Bug-type Pokemon, like, slowly over region got better and better. Because in the first, like, region, you have what? You have a few Bug-types that are just absolute garbo. in terms of like power and everything, or like usability. And then immediately in Gen 2, you got like Fortress, Heracross, Scizor. They were like, oh, let's introduce 2 steel bug types in one region. They went all over the place with steel. Actually, hold on, what steel types are in Gen 2? There were Steelix, Scizor, Fortress. Am I missing another steel type? Are those the only 3 steel types in Gen 2? Oh, there's the first poison. Did I do not have an antidote. Uh-oh. And I'm pretty sure this is... Oh, wait. I've been playing so much Soul Silver. I can't remember if it's just Soul Silver or if it's Platinum and everything else as well. But I know in Soul Silver, your Pokemon don't fade outside of battle due to poison. They always go down to 1 HP and then the poison fades away. And I cannot remember if that is... Oh, cool. We're in trouble. Good thing I can edit this out so nobody sees that we died here. I think that's gonna kill Herbal. Yeah. Alright, go get him. We're gonna lose here. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at. Okay. That didn't happen. Nothing happened. You guys didn't see this. Okay, let's put Metapod in here. And we will put Weedle in here too. And then we automatically get, I'm trying to remember. I think the EXP share we get. The one thing about getting the EXP share is I'm pretty sure we have to come back to here to talk to a scientist to get an item before. Oh, I do not have enough to buy anything. Dope. Well, let's hope we don't get poisoned again. If we can get a Caterpie, that'd be nice. Or a Kakuna. Kakuna's good. We need Kakuna for the decks. That there was one time where I actually tried to keep my Kakuna as a Kakuna and actually like use it. God, little me was kind of really dumb. I think our dex is coming along pretty well. Now we just need to catch a Caterpie and then we'll be all good for in here. Okay. Hey, don't poison me again, please. I would really appreciate it if you wouldn't set me back. I swear if this last one poisons us. Of course, I should have kept my big mouth shut. Good thing I have a potion. But now I'm gonna have to hope that we run into a antidote, maybe. I'm pretty sure there is an antidote in this forest somewhere. If I cut out the battles that are kind of pointless, we are only at 15 minutes of recording time, but if I leave it in, we're at 30 minutes right now. And I'm kind of aiming to have each episode be around 30 minutes. Okay, we're gonna use the potion and then hope we find the... Is that item down below, in the grass down below us, is that the antidote that I'm thinking of? I'm gonna go check. We are level 10, so we are pretty high leveled. We're gonna potion. Oh, that's Pokeball. Oh yeah, I forgot there's little cutscenes when you use an item on a Pokemon in this game. Nope, it's a potion. So I pretty much... Hold on, how's Hurdle doing right now? 18, okay. Okay. Okay, we needed a Caterpie. That's not what I wanted to do. Whoops. I gotta start using the items I actually mean to use. Alright. Squirtle evolves at level... Oh, we lose 1 HP per walk, right? I think. So that's 8. Yeah. Okay, so 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Use the potion and pray that this item we see is an antidote. Thank Arceus it is. Alright. I have a feeling we might actually be... Okay, so we've caught all the Pokemon we need to catch in this forest, so we're going to avoid the grass as much as we can now. We're going to battle the trainers, because I do want to evolve Ertl as early on as we can. Because in these games, it's a given, if you keep your starter in your team, it's going to be over-leveled compared to the rest of your party, unless you do some real big grinding. Which I will probably do, just off camera. I think we are going to end on Brock today, because I feel like if I try to go to the end of Mount Moon, or to Misty, this video is going to end up being like an hour long. And I don't want to put you guys through that. We're getting more XP from these Caterpies and Weedles than I remember us being able to get. Oh yeah, I forgot Pikachu spawns in here too, actually. I forgot that Pikachu spawns in here somewhere. Do I remember where? Absolutely not. I'm pretty sure he's like a 5% encounter rate. Yeah, now that we've got all we need to catch in here, we don't need to battle or catch any of these Pokemon. This guy is turning around. Did you know that Pokemon evolve? No! I did not. Tell me more. Bug Catcher Charlie? I love how so many trainers in this game just tell you the most basic of information because this is the first Pokemon game. Sorry, this is the remake of the first Pokemon game. Speaking of that, one other thing, I don't know if you guys relate to this, but when I was younger, I say younger, I meant like this changed for me maybe 2-3 years ago. I used to think that a Pokemon generation referred to the region and the Pokemon that were created for that region. I didn't know that it referred to the console and the years that the game came out. Like, for example, I thought FireRed, LeafGreen, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I thought those were all Gen 1 games because I thought Gen 1 was Kanto. I thought that's what the generations referred to. I didn't know that it referred to specifically like the console, the year, the type of game and everything. I thought it strictly referred to the Pokemon in the region itself. So I made a I did a Twitch playthrough where I was playing through Alpha Sapphire and I said, I was trying to do a challenge of playing through, I called it playing through each generation. And people were like, why are you playing a Gen 6 game and calling it Gen 3? And I'm like, isn't Hoenn Gen 3? And they're like, Hoenn in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald is Gen 3, but in Alpha Ruby, or Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, it is not. So, I felt a little stupid there. Speaking of, like, Nuzlocks and everything, I do a lot of, like, randomized Nuzlocking and other Pokemon stuff on my Twitch channel. Same name. We're going to be doing competitive stuff there when Champions comes out. I love doing competitive Pokemon battling. I just got really bored with Scarlet and Violet's competitive stuff recently. Normally I go to the regional that they hold in the closest city to me, but this year they decided to change it from happening in the closest city to me to happening in the United States. And I don't want to go all the way to the States just to play in a Pokemon tournament. That's a lot of money. So, not doing that. I'm hoping they bring it back next year, but I have a feeling they're not going to. I think I know why it's not going to be happening, and it's probably not going to happen in my city for a while. What are you? They give us a lot of potions in here. We're going to try to find a Pikachu just for the dex. I feel like I should probably look up Pikachu's encounter rate in this forest. I know it exists. My friend caught one in here. I feel like I'm hunting Yanma and Soul Silver. Oh god, hold on. I just realized I'm gonna have to decide if I want Yanma and Soul Silver or Platinum. Yanma's really hard to catch, or not even catch, find in Soul Silver. But then on the other hand, you have to get it in the Safari Zone in Platinum, and that's just a whole other beast to deal with. Are all the Pikachus dead? Did all the Pikachus move to Pokopia and become Pikachu or whatever that one's called? I'm still debating on if I want to get Pokopia. Because I've never played a cozy game before, so I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it or not. And $114 Canadian, just for those who are wondering why I'm saying 114 or 110, whatever it costs here. No, $111.99 after tax. Is a lot of money to play for a game that I don't even know if I'm going to fully enjoy, right? So I'm debating on if I want to play Pokopia, because I'm worried that I'm going to buy it and not enjoy the playstyle of a cozy game, because I've never played a cozy game before. Not even. Where are the Pikachus? Can I get a Pikachu, please? Did somebody come through here and catch all the Pikachu? What, did Team Rocket come through here and catch them all? Where are they? Where are the Pikachu? I just want the Pikachu, man! Just the Pikachu! I know they're in here! Where are they? Oh my god, thank you! Thank you! Hey, Future Griffin, while you're editing this video, put a timestamp on here on how long it actually took us to find this thing when we started looking. Thank you very much. Okay, we're just gonna throw balls. We're just throwing balls. I don't want to accidentally kill this thing. I'm just throwing balls. Come on! Oh, thank God. Oh my God. I think I genuinely spent like 45 minutes looking for this one Pikachu. Sorry, Pikachu, you kind of really upset me, so I'm going to give you a nickname even though we're not going to use you. We're going to call you Runt. Damn! That took forever. Okay, I'm going to cut to leaving the forest so you don't have to watch me walk through this place. Okay. We are finally out of the forest. We found a Pikachu almost an hour later. We're in Pewter City. And guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am going to take out all my anger and frustrations on Brock and that one gym trainer in his gym. Alright, the three of you, get put in the box. Especially you, Runt the Pikachu. Waited like 45 minutes to an hour to show up for me. We're showing up to this gym with a level 15 Squirtle, by the way. Brock's gonna be like, huh, only one Pokemon? What is it? And a jacked-looking Squirtle covered in bug blood is going to stare down his Onix. Squirtle's gonna look at this Onix like Brock Samson and be like, go ahead. Take it from me. And Onix is gonna look back at Brock like, get me out of here right now. Brock is gonna watch me annihilate. I'm 10,000 light years from facing Brock. Brother, I'm gonna annihilate your Geodude so it looks like the sand that formed it 10,000 years ago. Ertl, show him what's what. We're not even gonna hit you with a water gun. We're gonna hit you with a bubble. That's how little I think you can take this. Ertle's going to evolve, I think, after this gym. We're gonna hit the Sandshrew with a bit of a water gun, though. Sandshrew's a bit tougher than a Geodude, I think. Darn, light years isn't time, it's measured distance. Yeah. Idiot. Alright, Brock. Hey, Brock. You're rock hard willpower. All of your Pokemon are rock hard? Are you rock hard, Brock? Because I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm gonna make you soggy and wet. Ertle's gonna make you wait a second. Okay, we're just gonna scratch what I just said. Alright. Bye, Geodude. See ya never, loser. I can't remember if Ertl evolves at 16 or 18. Bring out the Onyx. We're 2 levels above his ace. Oh no, we're binded. Whatever will we do? Ertl, give him a tall glass of water. Alright. Is it level 16 or 18 that Squirtle evolves at? I can never remember. Thanks for the boulder badge. Just having it? Oh. Right, I forgot badges in this game actually give you effects outside of battle. And Ertl's evolving into Wartortle. Ertl's moving up in the world. Ertl went to war in Viridian Forest, and now he's evolved. Wartortle is a lot more purple in this game than I remember him being. Alrighty. Thank you, Brock. Brock's like, please take this and get out of my gym. Please, I'm pretty sure my Onyx is never going to recover. Okay. Alright, we're gonna call this here. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I need to go de-stress after losing my mind in that forest looking for one Pikachu. Oh my god. Okay. Bye, everybody. See you on Wednesday.